Scylla really is suffering on these poles for her own entertainment, isn't she? There is no peace for her, and neither is there for me. Let's get going then. Daughter of Ides Elysiae, the priest of time, together we shall write a verse unlike any other. Mem, Cyrene, the demiurge, whatever you like to call her. That playthrough that I went through honestly caused me so much pain that I can't even describe it. But that discussion is for another time. I'm still upset that I messed up the recording for the ending of the Amphorius quest, but I can make that up with this video instead. So, building Cyrene in D&D. I went through quite a few versions of it, and I'm not sure if this is the best version or not. It makes sense to me, but at the same time, you can go about it very different ways. Cyrene is a convoluted character, and there are many ways of you building her. She can fit into quite a few classes if you think about it, whether it's sorcerer, bard, ranger, even fighter if you try hard enough. But this is my take on her character, and how I want to interpret her abilities and goals. So please, be nice to me. I'm trying my best here. Let's see what we've got then. Let's rip the band-aid off quickly here. I went with Astral Elf for her. The pointed ears, unique origins. As a pure child of Anastrava and emanator of remembrance, I just thought it made sense in my head. Astral elves are elves from the Feywild, who ventured into the astral plane to get closer to their gods. I felt like it made quite the strange sense to me, when we now know more about Cyrene's story. The Chrysos heir who ventured deep into Amphorius, and the fairy who grew to understand love. I also think the idea of an astral elf also gives Cyrene a feel of being otherworldly, compared to the other characters she might encounter in D&D. She doesn't fully belong to their world, she's someone who stands out for being different to the rest. Though at the same time though, she's still an elf at the end of the day, even if a bit more astrally than the rest. Astral elves have all the characteristics of a regular elf. They do, however, get a special cantrip that comes with their bloodline, which I chose to be Dancing Lights for her. I also went with using intelligence for this ability, mainly because of the class that I gave her. Astral elves have dark vision, which is always useful, proficiency in perception. They have Misty Step, but under a special name, which allows them to teleport into an unoccupied space 30 feet from them. And of course they don't need to sleep. They can just meditate and regain their energy like that of a long rest, and it comes with the benefits of an elf as well. For her classes, I have to explain this a little bit. So I gave her the wizard class to give her the Mage of Lorehold subclass. I know I could have gone with bard instead and still have gotten the subclass, but I felt like she suited the wizard class a bit better. But I decided to only give her 6 levels in wizard, so that I can shove a tiny 1 level into fighter for her. Just to give her the archery fighting style. That bow still haunts me, by the way, and I'm gonna make it your problem as well. Anyway, to the main part of the build. As a Mage of Lorehold, you get special spells and you also get your own Memo Sprite. I mean Ancient Companion. They are friendly to you and your companions, listen to your commands, and you can choose between 3 different types for yourself. I personally went with the Sage Companion for Cyrene, because I like the idea of it giving out buffs to your ability checks and your spell damage at level 6. Here's all the information you need to know about the Ancient Companion, and how to use them in game. As for her ability scores, I'd personally go with Intelligence and Dexterity to be her highest, just because she's a fighter and a wizard. Then I'd add to her Wisdom, Charisma, Constitution, and then Strength will be her lowest. For background, I know it doesn't make sense, but I went with the noble background for her. I kind of wanted to go with a more princess in a tower kind of story for her, mainly because I thought it would be an interesting take on what we know about her. You could also see it as a story that she made up about herself too, if you don't want to actually make her an actual noble. I just wanted to go with something special for her, mainly because she's a very interesting character to me. For languages, I went with Sylvan and Celestial. Sylvan because it's a very fairy tale-like language. I mean Elvish originated from it. And Celestial because of her connection with Fuli, as well as being the demiurge of Amphorius. For proficiencies, I gave her dragon chess and calligraphy supplies. Not really for a lot of reasons, mainly because of her being a writer, and dragon chess because, well, it's the gaming set that stuck out the most to me. For her skill proficiencies though, I gave her Arcana, Investigation, and Insight, because of her having a lot of knowledge about Amphorius, her understanding the world that she was born into, and the 30 million cycles that she went through. For her feats, the first one that came to me was Divinely Favored. I did want to go with Magic Initiate at first, but Divinely Favored just stuck out to me a lot. You get some extra spells out of it, which includes the Augury spell, and because she's a good-natured character, she gets a Cleric spell as well, which I chose to be Ceremony, as a reference to her technique. And for her magic, as a Mage of Lorehold, she does come with some innate spells with her subclass. Those being Knock, Speak with Dead, Spirit Guardians, and so on, which I find to make quite a bit of sense to me in a strange way. For the spells that I had personally picked out for her though, I tried my best, okay? Of course I gave her Mage Armor because she's a squishy mage and it's best to keep her alive in combat. But I also gave her Message, Illusory Script, and Comprehend Languages, as a reference to As I've Written and her connection with storytelling itself. Charm Person as a reference to her being Hoyle's favorite child, Magic Missile for the arrows of doom that she brings to her enemies, also Featherfall, Fly, and Sky Strike because of her ability to float through space and just float in general. I also gave her the spell Magic as a very vague reference to her breaking the cycle of Amphorius. Find familiar if you want to have your own mem in your party, pick whatever animal you like to represent her within D&D, and I also gave her Heartache. Yeah. So for her equipment, I decided to make it simple for her. I don't know why, but I felt like a longbow would work really well for Cyrene. Maybe I'm overestimating how big her bow actually is, but that's how I'm representing it in D&D. I also added a sickle to her inventory. I will not elaborate any further than that. Anyway though, that's just my ramblings for the end of this part, and we're moving on to the backstory section of the video now. As I've said before though, I wanted to give Cyrene a unique kind of story. I don't know if it's gonna work for most D&D games, but I wanted to make her special, I guess. To tell a story that is beautiful. I'm gonna do my best to tell a tale that could truly be considered as romantic. Philia, Peach. Once upon a time, a little girl was born into a brilliant village on the other side of a vast unending sea. A child with pale pink hair and rosy cheeks. The first time her father heard her cry, it broke his heart as they welcomed their precious daughter into the world. A bright young girl, free-spirited and lively. She would run through the wheat fields with her friend, climb the tallest trees in her village, and play with the fairies in the woods, far from the prying eyes of the adults that loved her so dearly. As she grew older, she joined her friend upon a journey across the lands, defying fate itself, as they became the arrows of fortune that would drive away the darkness that threatened to destroy their world. The pink-haired girl swore to tell their tale to the people, that she would be the one to honor their legacy, until the very end of their journey, chasing the flames of tomorrow, as she weaved a tale like none that had come before. A hero worthy of her title, the promise of a brighter, fuller tomorrow, that they would never need to fear the evils that would threaten their homes anymore. That was the story that she wanted to tell, the story that she wished could be made for herself. A white room, a pearl-shaded cage, a name at the tip of her tongue as it whispered through the empty room. She remembered seeing a peach, pink like the evening clouds, dressed in a purple coat, holding a book of stories that she had written. You are Peach. I am Peach. Once upon a time, there was a young maiden from a village far away, a special girl who they deemed was destined for great things in her future. But that was what the people had told themselves, in account for her brilliant mind and her unique pink hair. The color descended from the stars itself, the color of time and memories itself. There was none like her, or so she was told. There was no one in the world that was gifted with such unique traits, and no one who could understand the burdens bestowed upon her and those who joined her in her long, arduous journey. Light, warm, bright, sky, clouds, soft, flower, sweet, soft, like peach. Her heart was in sync in her chest as she grabbed onto the bars of her unfortunate cage. She felt a rush of wind burst through the windows as she looked upon the never-ending infinity on the other side, the laughter of people that she never got to meet, the cries of a voice that she never got to speak. World, light, ocean, sky, you and I, hope, a world of stories, stories after stories of you and me. She came and left, that peach in the purple coat, who always seemed so tired, as the morning sun shone down upon the wheat fields on the other side of the door, the girl who never got to reach the end of her tale. She never was able to finish that story about that world she loved so dearly. She only ever was able to reach her because of the love that she had for that world, the one that she spoke so hopefully for. The girl with the pale pink hair reached down and picked up the book she had written, her hand swirling against the blank pages inside, and the pen that she was left to write with. "Do you miss me yet?" She asked no one in particular. She did not expect an answer, as she heard a light bell jingle in the distant halls of white unending halls. A laugh escaped her lips as she made her way towards the wheat fields on the other side of the door. "That's fine, but next time we meet, will you answer them for me? I'll be waiting for you for the next 500 times. Let us write a romantic story, one like none that had come before." Is the story a bit too convoluted? Oops. I was trying to get the feel of a time loop kind of story, but as I said before, you could also take it as a tale that she wrote about herself and the situation she might be in. Maybe she had been a part of hundreds of different adventure crews, and she feels like she's stuck in a time loop because of that. Or maybe she got locked up for a long time and she feels disconnected with her current self. You can go about it a few ways if you want to. Again, as always though, if you don't like this story, you can write your own, and I'm pretty sure yours would make a lot more sense in this one. I'm just rambling at this point now. You know, I'm just like this, I guess. But anyway though, this is my Cyrene build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video for what it is. Thank you guys for watching this video as always. Like and subscribe if you like, and I'm so sorry to seal her again for this. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.